I used to clock 60 hours of work in 4 days while my daughter was about 18 months old. And I was so proud of myself. I thought I was displaying success. I thought I was displaying grit. I thought I was proving my worth. But then I had a mirror moment. I was sitting on my balcony reflecting. And I started to do the math. The money looked good on paper. But when I divided it with the number of hours, I was not proud at all. And it was a moment where I realized that I wasn't displaying grit at all. I was displaying bad economics and bad personal branding. I was trading my life for other people's goals because I didn't understand the difference between labor and leverage. If you are working hard but staying at the same financial level, you don't have a work ethic problem. You have a resource allocation problem. Hey, my name is Camilla. I'm a business mentor and success coach, and I help leaders break through to the next level of wealth and freedom. Not by working more hours, but we do that by mastering mind-brain coherence. Today I want to show you why hustle is keeping you, and I will walk you through the 3-step framework I call the identity flip, which I use myself and with my private clients to move them from a doer to being the architect of their life and a transformational leader. With no further ado, let's get started. Here's an uncomfortable truth. In business schools, they teach you to manage labor, but they rarely teach you how to stop being. But the economic reality is simple. The market pays for value, not effort. And most high-performing people are stuck here, where you get paid for your hands and for your hours. That's a linear model. That's a 2x model. If you stop working, your revenue stops. In order for you to scale, in order for you to have more time freedom, more abundance, to feel wealthier in all areas of your life, you must shift who you are. You must shift from being the person that does the work, the transactional leader, the doer, to the person who owns her assets, to the person who is a transformational leader. You stop trading in your time for money. Stop saying, I can help you. And you start protecting your energy and your time, and you start building your asset. This isn't just a mindset shift. It's a business model shift. It's a career model shift. And it's a way, wherever you are on your career journey right now, to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So how do we do that? Let's dive into the identity flip. Step 1 is to define your function in the market. I truly believe that you are unique, that you possess something that only you can offer other people. But you get to decide, are you ready to unleash your full potential, or are you more comfortable staying in the role of the fixer? We have a lot of competitors because we compete about the same task. When you allow yourself to own your assets and only do the tasks that you can do, then you have no competitor because there's only one of you with your lived experiences. If you feel comfortable in the identity as a fixer, you are signaling to the market that you are the maintenance crew and then you're one out of many. The market punishes fixers with endless demands, with endless expectations, with endless agreements, and the market caps their income. You can use it whether you're looking for your next dream job, and we're doubling down on this in our Job Search Mastery program that is kicking off soon, as well as in our Trusted Advisor, if you're looking for your next promotion. Market companies reward the architects, those who shape the future, who really do build the future, who are ready and interested in solving some of the biggest problems a company has, here's what you want to know. The market rewards the architects. The market rewards the transformational leaders. The market rewards people who are willing to solve the biggest problems a company has, or even bigger if you are running your own company, the bigger problem that you can help solve. And when you do that with authority and with leverage, then you are being rewarded. And this is actually the first thing that we audit in the Trusted Advisor cohort, because we look at the calendar and ask, how much of your time do you allocate to maintenance work where you help other people versus how much time do you allocate to actually build? And what about you? How much of your time do you allocate for maintenance work, and how much time do you allocate for creating the future? That's something that we're looking at and shifting in the Trusted Advisor program. Because if you don't allocate your time correctly, you are building a roadmap for burnout. I've been there. I had to fire myself as a problem officer. I love solving problems. I loved helping other people. But what happened was that then after I put my daughter to sleep, I found myself 10, 11, even at 2 a.m. solving some of the most important tasks that only I could solve. And I ended up in that trap because I helped so many other people. In my mirror moment, I knew I wanted to shift how I did career, how I made money, how I served other people, but also how I lived my life. What I realized was that every time I said yes, I then devalued myself. I devalued my own time. You have to decide, are you a high-paid assistant in your own life, or are you a captain in your life? Are you a trusted advisor who is there to solve the biggest problems? You have to decide who you want to be. I trust that the reason why you are here is that you're ready to have more meaning in life. You're ready to take your career to the next level and enjoy more of life. Your journey is to go from being a fixer and a high-paid assistant to a trusted advisor. And that is an identity shift. Who are you today and who do you want to be tomorrow? Because what got you here won't get you there. That I know to be true. So step 2 in all this is, how do you allocate your time? We get to correct your resource allocation error. We get to look at your most vulnerable moments. Why do you say yes when you should say no? How do you protect your time? How do you protect your energy? Because let's look at the data. Your brain has a limited supply of cognitive currency. And if you're anything like me, working 60 hours in 4 days, then you're selling your primary inventory, your genius, your brain, your wisdom at a discounted rate. And if you do that as well, completing the most important task late at night, then what happens is that you're trying to build your career with a tired brain, low energy, operating for survival, not a thriving energy, then that is not only bad economics, it's bad personal branding. And you cannot build a 7-figure, 8-figure career at a burnout nervous system. It's absolutely impossible. You can, but it's not sustainable. So what you want to do is that you want to allocate your primary cognitive asset to your IP task, not late at night. So what you want to do is to allocate your primary cognitive assets, things that only you can do, to your list in the morning, not when you're tired. And how do we do that? How do we protect your time? Let's go into step number 3 in the identity flip framework. Because what you do and what you prioritize, that is a signal to the market. And we oftentimes think Because we've been trained and taught that you cannot say no. When you say yes, that's a way of building relationships. I heard that so many times when I was a consultant. And that is also true. But you get to know, be so consciously aware when you say yes without agreeing what you should not do instead. You get to also protect your own time, protect your own energy. And at the end of the day, you have only one life. So it's not only a balanced life, but it's about delivering what only you can do so that you have more time to enjoy time with family, to have time to nurture your soul. That is wealth. That is a whole life. And you get to really look at what you say currently yes to and what you ignore to say no to. Because again, data doesn't lie. In economics, value is driven by scarcity. If you are available to everyone, you're available to no one. When you allow a leader to override your time for reflection, you're telling your nervous system that I'm not worthy enough to have time to reflect. But you are worthy enough. You are good enough. What you need to work on is to understand and work through that limiting belief where you trade in yourself, your time, for someone else. You prioritize others and devalue yourself. But what happens, the team members come back because they know that you at the end will do their task. But that is not the way it should be, right? You get to really prioritize your time. You get to really set healthy boundaries and be better at delegating tasks and responsibilities, because in so doing, you also set other people up for success. I want you to know this. Many people say, I work with a high level of integrity. But integrity is not just a moral virtue or a value concept. It's actually living on your highest level of integrity. Showing up with integrity means showing up also when it's difficult, when there are challenges. Because it's not only a commercial, a career necessity, it's also a personal branding necessity. And when you block time for deep reflection, when you block time to work on your strategy, what you're telling yourself and your brain and your nervous system is that I am good enough. I am worthy of having this time for myself. I am worthy to work on myself so that I can show up as my highest self, so I can deliver better results, better value faster to those who need me the most. What you're really doing is that you're signaling to the market that you are a finite, high value asset. And that is how you command respect. That is how you become a trusted advisor. And that's how you get more space in your body, because you have time to work on what matters the most and what moves your needle the most. Now you understand that staying a doer, a fixer, and transactional leader is costing you a fortune of lost leverage. But knowing the theory is different from installing or upgrading your operating system. You cannot read your way out of a behavioral pattern, your default way of showing up, your default identity, your default way of prioritizing. It's absolutely impossible. It comes by practice. It comes by having so many mirror moments. It comes by building deeper relationship with yourself. If you could already done it, you wouldn't have been listening to this video. I am currently accepting applications for the next cohort of my Trusted Advisor program. We don't just talk about these concepts. We install and upgrade a higher level of mind-brain coherence, a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of awareness, of self-awareness, required to execute your tasks without burning out. This is not a course. It's an implementation environment for leaders who are done dimming the light, who are ready to stop trading in hours for money, and who are ready to contribute more without burning out. If you're ready for this shift, the application link is in the description below. I would love to have you in the group. If you're not ready yet, that is okay. Start by watching this video on the neuroscience of focus. It's the best place to start.